Hello everybody, I'm Zumikito and now I will teach you how to paint white armor. And just before the video begins, please subscribe to my channel if you want to see similar videos, and if you really like the video, give it a thumbs up. Alright, let's get it started. Some of you already know that I own some white Space Marines, and by some I mean many white Space Marines. Because of this, I consider myself to be somewhat of a skilled painter when it comes to painting white armor. Now I don't want to show you how to paint Space Marine armor only, but also how to paint curved surfaces and areas. So generally speaking, you will paint mostly these two types of armor. Some kind of curved surface or some kind of flat surface. For example, a Space Marine or some tank or some kind of vehicle. So first, let me show you the technique that you will use to paint some kind of curved area. For this, I will use as an example Retribution of Scyrah Jack. If you are wondering, this model is from Warmachine and Hordes. And of course, before I even start, I prime this miniature with a white spray. In this example, I will use Corax White. Well, maybe you can use some kind of gray, but any other color will give you a hard time. So pick your wet palette and you will need just two types of colors. For this particular Jack I will use White Scar and Celestial Grey, but any other grey will do also. You should also aim for some mid-tone grey or darker grey to create some contrast between the colors. This is because you are not gonna use any type of wash or shade. Now the process is really simple. You will mix these colors and make a light to dark spectrum. Apply darker tones to the curved area and lighter tones on more flat surfaces. If you really want to make the miniature dark in the recesses, you can add a little bit of black, but using just gray should be fine. Alright, so this is the result that you should be aiming for. As you can see, I applied all darker tones to all the curves and recesses, and on more flat surfaces that should be more exposed to light, I used more white more heavily. During the whole process, you should really thin your paints a lot, almost to the point that you are wet blending your colors on the miniature. And when done correctly, your miniature should have smooth transitions. Also note that I still use straight white to highlight all the edges to really make the miniature pop. Now to show you that this can be done even on smaller areas, I have this Retribution of Scyrah character, and clearly, as you can see, her armor is done with the pretty much same technique. So recesses are done with darker color and flat areas are done with brighter colors. So that was the first technique. And for more flat areas and surfaces, you want to use the good old base, shade and highlight technique. Maybe this technique sounds a little easier to you, and it is, but it may be a little more time consuming. And this is because when you are applying your wash to the recesses, you will actually apply the wash somewhere where you don't want it to be, and you will have to fix it later. So let me use this Farseer and his helmet as an example. As always, you want to use some kind of white spray, especially since the whole Farseer is gonna be pretty bright, and after that you should put down your base layer. In this example, I will use Ultron Grey, watered down Drakenhof Nightshade and White Scar. Instead of watering down your wash, you can also use Lamian Medium. So after properly laying down the Ultron Grey, I will apply my wash to the recesses. And as you can see, it is inevitable to tint the area around the recesses. To fix your mistakes, you will have to get your base color again and clean them up. When you are done with that, just apply edge highlight and you are good to go. Now I know this is not a Space Marine, it's a Farseer, but the process for the Space Marine is pretty much the same. You will pick your base color, then put down your wash, then you will clean up your mistakes, and afterwards you will apply the highlight. So pretty much the only difference between the Space Marine and this Farseer is between the washes that I have used. If you are wondering which wash I'm using for my Space Marines, I am using Agrex Earthshade. Cool, so this is it from me, guys. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see similar videos, subscribe to my channel. You can also leave a comment about what you want to see next. And see you guys in the next video.